And by the way, folks, what are they getting for these loans, for these educations, for these degrees? What are they getting? You know, Susie Cream Cheese gets into George Washington University and borrows from the government the requisite $212,000 to obtain an undergraduate degree. And what is Susie Cream Cheese's degree in? She's spent it on a degree in oppressed people in the Orient, some meaningless degree like Conflict Resolution 505, whatever, some meaningless, worthless degree. She comes out after borrowing $212,000 with no marketable skills, and the only thing she has learned at Bill Ayers University is it's all America's fault. She comes out, she goes in and gets a stupid degree, worthless education, $210,000 in debt, and she has no marketable skills. And it's America's fault after she's borrowed all this money. So now here comes Obama riding to the rescue. After his buddies in academe, i.e. the Bill Ayers types, have taken these young skulls full of mush and turned them into basically pizza. That's a little bone thrown to Herman Cain. They come out and they have worthless degrees. And they're profoundly in debt, and Obama's, don't worry, I'm here. I'll make it okay. Bigger loans, higher tuition. And by the way, nobody ever complains that the colleges are charging tuition and fees that are rising out of the realm of reasonableness. Never happens. Student loans have grown by 511% since 1999. Disposable income has grown by just 73%. And there's a chart here, accompanies this, that illustrates that most outstanding student loan debt, 82% of it, was accrued by students in the last 10 years. Now, that is a stunning fact, folks. Tallying up all of the student loan debt in history, 82% of it was accrued in the last 10 years. So here's Obama now out promoting a fraudulent solution. Just like everything else he does is fraudulent. He's not going to create jobs with his tax bill. He's not going to improve the housing market with that housing executive order. He is not going to help students with the student loan executive order. It's all about more lies. It's all about more promises. I am not suggesting that everybody punt college, as I realize for most people, college is a way station. It's the next thing you do when you don't know what you want to do. So you go there. Society says that's where you go. This is what happens. You go there, you come out, you're educated, you're well-rounded, you're formed, you learn the social skills, all that rot, and you are prepared, and all of these things that are attached to it that equal social status. So people go to these things, go to these colleges, universities as a way station, hoping that while they're there, they find out their passion, they discover it, what they want to do. Some people know it when they go there. Again, not everybody's the same. But I just look at it now with the student loan business run by Obama, and I think I see the racket that this is. Now, I am fully aware that there are great institutions for education in this country. There are plenty of good universities and colleges. It's not all a racket. But I just find it fascinating that while price of gasoline goes up, we target a whole industry. Big oil. The subprime loan business happens. So what do? We protest on the lawns of executives at Wall Street firms that people have been made to believe had a role in the subprime mortgage thing. If the price of anything goes up, we protest that industry. The Democrat Party and the American left have their enemies list, and it's basically any private sector industry that is a success. The one institution in this country that is immune from such attack is education. Those people can charge whatever they want. Tuition can go up 200%, and there's never one peep about it. The Democrat Party and the American left never make big education justify what they're doing. They never try to drum up hate for them. They never demonize them. They never try to get you to despise them. They never try to get you to distrust them. They want people paying these exorbitant fees when it comes to college tuition. And what's the system to make it possible? Student loans. It's like the subprime mortgage business. You can't afford a house? That's not fair. We're going to see to it that you can get into one anyway. You can't afford to go to college? That's not fair. You don't have a chance if you don't go to college. We're going to make sure you can go there. Here's a student loan. You're going to go for 4 years. We're going to teach you nothing that's worthwhile. We're going to teach you nothing useful. You're going to be indebted to us $200,000 when it's all over. The rest of your working life is going to be spent paying us off. You owe us, meaning the Democrat Party. Which, a lot of people are starting to say, what are they really worth? I sent my kid away to a $4,000, $8,000, $17,000 a year school, and my kid smells like urine hanging around a tent city down on Wall Street. That's what I'm getting here. And then when my kid comes home, after spending 3 weeks in urine stench squalor, I have to listen to the biggest bunch of drivel and bilge come out of my kid's mouth that I ever heard. And I'm paying 17 to 20 grand for this. And I'm paying it under the guise that this is the only way my kid's going to stand a chance of having a decent life and earning a decent living. Now, as you know, I, ladies and gentlemen, am a proud dropout. And I have asked myself, and I've discussed this with people, I wonder, had I stayed in college for 4 years, I probably would have been okay. I had the mental fortitude to reject the crap that was, even in my first year, I had the mental fortitude. But I sometimes wonder, if I had stayed in college 4 years or more, whatever, would I come out of there so screwed up that I would not have been able to do this program? I wonder about it. The moot point. I would not be a liberal professor. Don't go that far. I wouldn't be a liberal professor. They're crying out loud. Yeah. No way. I wouldn't be a liberal professor at Harvard or anywhere. But I do, with what these kids are being taught, what they're coming out, the knowledge that they don't have, what are their educations really worth? You know how many things in life you do because it's just the next thing you do? Okay, so you go to school because you go to school. And then you graduate high school because you graduate high school. And the first thing you do, even before you graduate, you start planning where you're going to go to college. Why? That's just written in the tablets. That's what we do. After high school, you are going to go to college. Because if you don't go to college, and this comes from basically the Depression era, where it was, I don't think ever truer than that era. If you didn't have an education, you really didn't have a chance. The deck was so stacked against you. And for a long time after that, it was true too. And even today, a college education is necessary to get your foot in the door for an interview. The fact that you might not have a degree is one of the ways they winnow the number of applicants that they have to waste time talking to for any job opening. Oh, you don't have a degree? Sorry. Job requires it. Next. So a lot of people are in colleges. They don't have any idea what they want to do. It's just the next phase. This is the next thing. It's what it's expected. It's expected of them by their parents. It's expected of them societally, culturally. The number of people who are in college who really don't want to be there probably would surprise you. The number is probably astounding. And then you go get married. And then the next thing you do is have kids, because that's just the next thing you do. And as I look at my life, every next thing to do, I said, screw it. Whatever the next thing was that everybody else was doing, the next thing that was expected, I didn't do it. Now, undoubtedly, there are some exceptions. Obviously, there are phases in my life where the next thing that was expected of me, I did do within a career universe. But I'm talking about mind-numbed robot cultural societal stuff. And I sit back and I watch all of these people do the next phase of their life because that's just what's expected. That's just what you do. You go to college, and then after you go to college, you end up at Goldman Sachs earning $2 million a year, and the next year, then you have your house in the Hamptons and 3 golf club memberships. If that doesn't happen, why, the country sucks. Of course, if you don't grow up in the Northeast, that's not your expectation. Different places have different expectations. But stuns me. Nevertheless, I look at every example we have in public of modern-day college graduates, and I'm amazed at how little they know versus how much time they've spent and how much money their parents have spent, as balanced against what they think they know. Now, parents are only trying to do the best thing for their kids, and that's the part and parcel of being a parent. Education is a ticket. There's no question. Anyway, I got to take a break. I just noticed the clock. Sit tight, my friends. El Rushbo. We'll be back. We'll continue melding your phone calls into the